Here's what you missed on Phathead and Cande in the morning. Weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.
My Country 96.1, Phathead, Cande Roth. Cande, yesterday for Administrative Assistance Day, I told you that back in the day they used to be called secretaries, and my father made one cry.
And I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what did he do?
Right. So I got, I don't know if I think I told you this. Every day at 2 p.m., while I'm waiting for my kids to get out of school, I FaceTime my parents.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Which I think is lovely.
I told him to text me the full story. And here it is. I'm going to read the texts as he wrote it, okay?
Good. Mm-hmm.
She was our head bookkeeper, not a secretary.
Oh.
And she was great, very bright, and does a great job. She was very sensitive and prided herself on her accuracy. I found something that wasn't correct, and I pointed it out, so to speak. That's what he writes in the text.
So to speak.
Let me read that again. I found something that wasn't correct, and I pointed it out, so to speak.
Oh, I wish I could see how that went down.
She was upset with herself more than with me, I think. Do you believe this guy, Cande? Do you believe it?
He's a riot.
All right. Still, I mean, it's unbelievable. It's like a Seinfeld. Still, I felt badly. So Saturday, this was on a Friday, I guess. Saturday, I sent her flowers and a note. And I guess she forgave him, Cande.
Yes, flowers have that tendency to help forgiving.
Now, he also goes on to write this. Here is how dedicated she was. I don't know how he remembers this, by the way. She gave birth on a Friday and was back to work a week from Monday, 10 days later, Cande.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, wait.
I don't like that.
He goes on to say, I couldn't convince her to take more time off. She said her husband and her parents encouraged her to go back to work.
Was she afraid she wouldn't have a job to go back to?
Listen, you got to remember, this was like 1980. She might have been afraid she didn't have a job to go back to.
Oh, boy.
So that speaks to a whole different... But my father says he told her to take more time off. She wouldn't do it. Okay, so that's the end of the text. He did tell me on FaceTime verbally that... And I mean, this... I want to call my father in this instance. I have to call him this guy. Because can you believe this guy? He says to me, Cande, that he told them to, she asked his opinion on whether to buy a house in Park Slope, Brooklyn.
Right.
Now, this is like 1980 at the time.
Right.
And she asked his opinion. And he said, well, I understand. And please, how he remembers this, give me a break. He says, I understand the area is really being built up, and it's probably a good move for you guys. So he goes, fast forward to today, he goes, she's probably 60 years old or whatever she is. He goes, that house that she bought for whatever back then is probably worth $3 million in Park Slope, Brooklyn.
Whoa, yeah. That happened to a friend of mine who bought an apartment rather inexpensively, and then the place went crazy in Brooklyn and sold it for $750,000.
Yeah, there you go. But you like how my father makes himself the hero in this story, Cande?
Of course, I love the way he makes himself the hero. It's because of him that they are now selling or could sell their house for millions.
I want to do a Netflix special and track this woman down. If hopefully
hear her side of things.
She could very well still be alive. She's probably 60.
Excuse me. Let's call her Terry.
Why are we calling her Terry?
I don't know. Just so she has a name.
Terrible Terry. Terrible Terry.
So to speak. What did that mean back in the day? Did he raise his voice? Did he say a bad word? Tell us how the tears came on.
I pointed out the mistake, so to speak. I love it.
I reprimanded my child gently, so to speak.
Now, he remembers so many specific details, he must remember her full name. I need to look her up. She's probably in the neighborhood of early 60s. I want to do a Netflix special about how she felt about this situation and to see if she remembers this situation the way he does.
This way. Absolutely.
And there you have it, Cande. I will say one of the benefits to this whole situation back in the day is the firm that my father worked for had season tickets to the Knicks and the Rangers. And I got to tell you, I got to go to a lot of Knick and Ranger games. So it worked out for me.
It did. It did. You had a good childhood. And so did I. We're very lucky.
I absolutely. I knock on wood. I pinch myself all the time that I was able to have the childhood I had, for sure. But, you know, my father comes out the hero in this story. I don't know what's going on.
So to speak. That's going to be my line today.
All right.
Can't stand you, so to speak.
My Country 96.1.
Phathead and Cande in the morning, weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.